Oh, yeah. So, yeah, one of them is definitely a Scavenging Ooze.
Okay.
Probably the worst hit you could get.
Thoughtseize also be pretty bad.
So I thought he would be pretty bad as well.
And so now, Dark Confident looking to hustle and bustle.
Yeah, I don't think there's a way to deal with the flyer here.
We do understand, ladies and gentlemen, that some of you around the world have been having intermittent issues with the stream. We do apologize for them. We seem to have got them sorted out on our end now, and hopefully it will all be good from here on out. Certainly doing our best to make sure that the coverage is as uninterrupted as possible. We do appreciate your patience for bearing with us.
Enough damage. That's one of the reasons I've always not liked Jund.
Yeah.
It's when you stumble on mana, when you're on 3 mana, on 4 mana, you can't do everything you want. All your spells are very powerful, but when you stumble, it's just so frustrating. You see your opponents, they play just the little edges, and you just can't get there.
Yeah, and I thought Jund was in a decent position here, but Antonio Del Moralion, he had his motley crew, this little rogues gallery there that was able to put together a win, and he's done very well. Flanked by his teammates, Tony Ramius Pascual on Blue-Black Control, and Francisco Sanchez on Grixis Pyromancer. Grixis Pyromancer, another name for the Grixis Delver deck that we've been seeing so much of. On the other side of the battlefield, it looks like we've got a mirror match on either side of Josham here. Seems like we're getting a pretty clear picture of what the best decks across both Standard and Legacy are here, with Grixis really at the top of the tables, as well as Blue-Black strategies of both stripes here, Raph.
That's right. You Blue-Black Control with the Scarab God, and Essence Scatter and Rustic's Contempt, your favorite cards.
Mm-hmm.
And on the other side, the blue strategies. What I call the blue strategies.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to call them.
With Brainstorm, Daze, Delver, and
accessories
and stuff.
Yep.
I guess we could call the package. We could call it like Delver and stuff.
Delver and stuff. Delver and Friends.
Delver and Friends.
Delver and Friends. Tonight on Nickelodeon at 5 p.m. These players look to be sideboarding right now. We've got shuffle cam on all 3 tables, I understand.
Louis Bachot, top 8 in
Tell us a little
Warsaw.
about this fellow.
I think he top 8'd the GP in Warsaw, in Poland, not too long ago. He was on our testing team in Japan.
Yeah.
He's a very cool guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Magic's been going pretty well recently.
Doing okay.
Well, we've had
top 8 PT.
We had Guillaume.
2 top 8 at the PT.
Yeah. Did very, very well indeed.
He had a very good run in Kyoto that ended in the last few runs. He was in top 8 contention for a while.
Bachot or Matignon?
Louis Bachot.
Bachot.
Then fell a little short at the end.
Well, the French Magic history is a long and storied one, isn't it?
It is indeed.
2013 World Magic Cup victory.
That was long ago now.
You know a thing or two about that, Raphael Levy.
I do.
Still got the Llanowar elves you signed.
And Damien Bouillot, he won a GP Lyon. And what was it? It was Battle of Zendikar, I think.
All right.
Limited GP. So.
Yeah, all these guys know their way.
Players,
They know their way around a deck of cards for sure. And of course, Del Moralion.
Winner of PT Washington, I think.
Yep, still wearing that same snapback.
With Splinter Twin, was it?
Was it Tamo Twin or Splinter Twin?
I think it was.
I think it was just Strato Twin.
Yeah.
I think you might be right there. So Francisco Sanchez has got up in game number 1. Now, as I cast my eyes over his list here, there don't seem to be too many surprises here. I mean, a Forked Bolt is a nice piece of technology in the face of things like, all the small little dorkos that are played. But 3 Young Pyromancer, 4 Delver of Secrets, 4 Deathrite Shaman, Daze, Brainstorm, Ponder, Force of Will, Cataxian Probe. This deck doesn't change too much, really. The sideboard brings us some interesting choices here, including a Price of Progress, which is one way to really punish these multicolored decks. But Louis Bachot, as we look at his list and sort of compare and contrast here, I don't see too much really that's very different. Playing Stifle, of course, rather than cutting back on things like True Name Nemesis for a card like Stifle.
So is it the norm now to play just 1 Forked Bolt for the winning point?
Sometimes just get them. Yeah, Bachot.
So that's what Kowalski did in Lyon.
Oh yeah,
a couple weeks ago. He played 1 Forked Bolt and he was very proud of it.
He won a GP with it. He's a Delver of Secrets for Louis Bachot on turn number 1. That's a great start for him here. Obviously, he'll be hoping to flip Areno the Delverino and get in for 3 from here on out. But Sanchez will be doing everything he can to prevent that from happening. Misty Rainforest.
How good is it to fetch for just 1 damage? You're so used to fetch and. Like
yeah. You fetch, take 3. Yeah.
down to 17, and then we just fetch and
Easy.
get underground C.
Yeah.
Gold underground C. Rob Alexander.
And here's a Death Ride Shaman. So both of these players playing powerhouse 1-drops here, but a daze from Bashor means that we don't have the little 1-mana, 1-mana Planeswalker, many people call it. It can do so much. And here's a Ponder for Bashor after failing to flip his Delver. Almost guaranteeing to do it next time. I can't believe we used to be able to do that in Standard, Raf.
What was in Standard? It was Ponder in Standard.
Ponder in Standard. Yeah.
Was there another spell?
There was Ponder, there was Mana Leak.
No, but to fix the top of your deck.
No, just
Ponder.
Just Ponder. That's all you needed. That's all you needed. Volk, and now a Bolt on the Delver.
So Dave's not going to do anything if he has one. But he has another Delver. And
Sanchez is going to have a Ponder here.
Another Bolt.
So it's very much a threat versus answer game here, and this is the way that Legacy can sometimes play out. The person on the play plays the threats, the person on the draw plays the answers, and this is how things are going now for game number 2 between Louis Bashor and Francisco Sanchez here at GP Madrid. Round number 7, you are well and truly in amongst the cut, ladies and gentlemen, in the booth. It's me, it's Riley Knight, and it's him, it's Raphael Levy.
So in this Legacy game, it's mostly 1-for-1.
Yeah.
Day trading 1-for-1. The only things that can provide card advantage is Brainstorm and Fetch Land.
Yeah,
it's not even
actual
actual card advantage.
No, it's very rare in Legacy to see any cards that actually draw you ahead on actual cards. Obviously, Brainstorm plus Fetch is very, very powerful.
Oh no,
indeed.
there are, but not in these. None in this.
Well, I mean, it's not a common hallmark of the format, I would say.
Yeah, you're probably right. Except for Pyromancer. Pyromancer is the one of the cards that makes that breaks this.
You can get more than a card's worth of value.
You get a lot of value from Pyromancer.
That's very true. What I think is also true is the fact that there is very few cards in Legacy that actually say, for example, draw 2 cards. Or draw 3 cards, for example.
There's actually a lot of cards that say that, but you don't play them.
You don't play them at all. No, I remember a few years ago when Patrick Chapin came with his Esper Mentor deck that played Painful Truths. And that was just like a complete game changer. But, it threatened to be, but it obviously didn't take off. Let's have a look at what's going on with Louis Bashor's hand here with a Gitaxian Probe revealing it. True Name Nemesis, Lightning Bolt. A couple of lands as well.
If you're looking for a definition of tempo, this is what it is. You play a threat, and every card you play is about tempo. You want, like, the 1 mana you're gonna spend to play Ponder, to play a Brainstorm. You have to time it, because if you time it wrong, then they might daze your removal, and then you lose your turn.
This is horrific here. We've just seen a True Name Nemesis. So Francisco Sanchez, he thinks he's safe. He's going to sit behind this TNN for the rest of the game. But Bashor reveals the Edict to the Delver, not only to flip it as a 3/2 flyer, but also to deal with a 3/1. That's such a beating.
That's tasty.
Both players flooding out a little bit. They've got a few more lands than they'd like, especially Sanchez here. I think he's drawn his 6th land. So hopefully now he can find some brainstorm, a way to brainstorm his way out of this here.
So he does have a Bolt for the
Delver.
For the Insectile.
Insectile Aberration. Yeah.
Delver is long gone.
Doesn't look like. Did Sanchez find a fetch land here to shuffle away those lands? I'm not sure that he did.
Do you want to Wasteland the Underground Sea here?
Well, he's
cut. What has he seen in Louis' hand?
Bashor has another land in hand.
Is it black?
What that land is, I'm not 100% sure. No, it's a trop. It's a trop. Okay, so he can. Sanchez could make the play to cut Bashor off black.
Is there a better option than this?
Well, right now,
Gurmag Angler.
It's Gurmag Angler. Bolt still in hand for Sanchez, and he can still wasteland away that Underground Sea. It's a tidy turn from him here.
So if he wants to do it, I think he wants to wait until he play all his cards just to dodge a daze.
There's not too much.
So
all right. It's going to be the Volk instead. And now a Delver.
All right.
So commits 2 threats to the board here. A nice turn here from Sanchez. Back to Bashor, who gets in for 3.
I don't get this play. tell me if I'm wrong. Why would he waste the volcanic island? Because if Louis has a bolt, he can still play it on his turn. Like that doesn't prevent.
Yeah, he can just untap and do it, and that doesn't
And
prevent anything from happening. And he knows that Bashor also has the third land in hand. So yeah, that's perplexing. That's perplexing.
Like,
for sure.
I would have wasted the underground
The
sea.
black source. Yeah. Yeah, because that 1 mana didn't mean anything anyway in that situation.
It doesn't help with days, and if he is afraid of days, then he should have kept the wasteland up.
Lightning bolt off the top here. He's going to take care of that insectile aberration as Sanchez gets it done with a little busy bee of his own.
And True Name Nemesis is threatening a lot of damage here.
Gitaxian probe. Let's have a look at what's going on in there. It's a Vulcan bolt.
So that's 11 damage on one side and 3 damage on the other side on this turn.
So let's see what's up here for the rest of Bashord's turn.
Or we can just witness a stalemate. If Louis kills the aberration, then it's a 3-1 facing a 5-5. No, he decides to go for it.
He's going to get in there.
What does he have?
So Sanchez unable to block the creature that has protection from him. And now a Pyroblast. So delve it down.
Oh, that's bold. It's going to be another land.
Well, he
knew, but we knew about this one. He didn't fetch. So it's going to be 11 to 7. Yeah, math. The math work this way?
Well, the race
4 to 6.
The race seems to be panning out in Sanchez's hand.
4 to 6, 4 to 3.
Especially as he's. I know we've still got lightning bolts to consider, so that does change things as well.
Yeah, we know about the lightning bolts.
Sanchez off the top. Another land, buddy. Stop drawing lands.
No, but did we know? No, we don't know about this.
No. That was a fresh card because he put back bolt land. So it's Bashord now. He's found another Gitaxian probe. Let's see what you're working with. Bolt in hand. Draws a card. It's another land and another bolt.
Oh, he had the bolt. Louis had the bolt. All right.
So bolt.
That the math worked.
As we said,
yep.
Lightning bolt changed the maths there completely. And Louis Bashord equalizes very tightly against Francisco Sanchez. Both of these players now at 1-1. Looks like Damien Buyol has got up against Tony Ramos Pascual on our standard table. And we'll be able to check in with another match as soon as we're ready to go and ship things over to another table. Antonio Del Morale we did see him and Arnaud Joachim get it done in game number 1. And now it's Humans versus Jund. Once again, Joachim looking to be hiding behind a big old Tarmogoyf here, and not so many mana issues from this time, Raph.
Ooh.
Oop, okay, never mind. Tarmogoyf is going to go away.
And with Arnaud's 2 Tarmogoyfs in hand,
oh dear,
that won't be able to come down.
Oh dear.
And that's a lot of damage coming in. Like 5 plus 3, 8.
So Thalia and her lieutenant get in.
Is there another Tarmogoyf off the top?
Is that 3 Tarmogoyfs in hand for Joshua?
I don't know. That would not be good.
What a slaying that would be here. Tarmogoyf, obviously a huge blocker, but no good after being locked out by that Reflector Mage.
It was too good in Standard, this card. It's pretty good in Modern.
Pretty good in
Reflector
Modern.
Mage.
Oh, yeah. We have seen it trimmed in the Humans list recently when it's given the preponderance of non-creature-based decks, but because it does very little against decks like Tron, for example. So Joachim here.
Blocking there.
Activate his Raging Ravine. He's going to rage away for some time yet.
Probably blocking the 2-3. And going down to 1 life.
Ew.
Exactly. Well, he can chump, but that's not great.
Not a winning line, no, for sure. So Raging Ravine now. He's going to block the 2-3. He's going to have to sweat that Ether Vial, but no, all good. Joachim lives to fight another day. Takes 8 down to 1. Oh, but a gut shot.
Oh, what? With the Cavern of Souls?
He had to pay an extra 1 for the Thalia. He paid 2 life.
Oh, 2 life.
Yeah,
I was like, what?
And Joachim reveals his hand, which is all Tarmogoyf, no business, and that is that here for Antonio Del Morale, the Pro Tour champion. He wins in straight sets against his opponent.
How good is dealing the last damage with gut shot?
With the gut shot.
Oh, that's tasty.
That's pretty tight. That's pretty good indeed. So Del Morale, congratulations to you, my friend. 5-color Humans, proving that it's still got what it takes to go up against one of the best decks in the format in the form of Jund. And of course, once players are ready, we'll go on to our next table, all shuffling up and getting ready to go in just a moment. Let's have a look at what's going on in standard with this blue-black mirror that we may indeed get a chance to have a look at right now between these two players, Tony Ramas Pascual and Damien Buyot.
May I add that I'm happy that John is not winning?
Okay.
Yeah, I like that.
Let the record show, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I like that it's not winning. I like that Jace and Bloodbird Elves were right to be unbanned.
Yeah. No, that's actually a great point. I mean, I was one of the many people who thought that unbanning Jace was really going to play havoc with the modern format that was, in my view, at its absolute peak. I don't think we've seen a better modern format than the one that we've seen in recent weeks. And our fears were completely invalid because it just hasn't panned out that way, Raph, and happily so.
Yeah.
Right now, however, we're having a look at standard. We've got Tony Ramis Pascual under a bit of pressure. He's only on 6, but again, Damien Buyot is not really turning the screws in him with anything huge. Could have a torrential Gearhulk in hand, of course.
Well, the life was mostly lost to
mostly self-inflicted.
the Bloodfest.
Yeah.
I like this matchup. I like to see this matchup because it's played in so many different ways. There's so many different ways to actually gain card advantage in this matchup. I've seen Elias Westfeld on the Swedish squad. He was playing the Bloodfest, and what's the name of this card? Metallic Summonings.
Metallic Summonings. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, it's a new piece of technology. It's done very, very well indeed.
So he was drawing cards and playing the instant just to make some dudes.
Yeah.
I like that.
Good friend of mine, Arne Huschenbeth, along with his friends Jasper Grimmer and Torolf Severin from Berlin. Arne is on blue-black, I should say, and I saw him beat an opponent to death with a 1/1 that he cast when his opponent was Hellbent, that he got from a Metallic Summonings after duressing his Hellbent opponent. Yeah, that was sweet. That was super sweet.
I could have gone for gain 5 life here. Sacrifice the Scarab God.
Oh, yeah.
Back to hand.
Yep.
Well, that did not happen, but that was a possibility.
So Scarab God enters the fray. And Buyot now. Looks like a Field of Ruin activation here. So the Temple of Atzalcoatl has hit the bin.
Rescue Contempt on the...
So negate is a handy answer to keep that Scarab God alive and kicking.
With the mana from the temple. Flowing mana from the temple.
Mm-hmm. Wheel. Draws a card with the search for its counter. It must have been a good one, because otherwise he would have binned it and flipped it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So
maybe he doesn't have time, or he doesn't want to flip it yet. He wants to take advantage of it. Or is there a Field of Ruins? Has he seen a Field of Ruins on the other side? No.
I don't see one.
No.
No, I don't see one. So Buyot ships. And Pascual is going to be very happy to be able to untap with his The Scarab God.
And no activation end of turn.
And in the upkeep here, we have a Vraska's Contempt.
So that's what Tony was playing around. Otherwise, he would have activated end of turn.
So no activation means that Ramis Pascual is now fighting over this in his upkeep. He does have a negate, and I can see a couple of copies of Charter Course there. In addition to, hanging at the back, I think it's Commit to Memory. 2 copies in his 75. Here's a negate to target the Vraska's Contempt, but negate right back at you, says Damien Buyot.
So he's probably going to bring back a few creatures here.
Couple of options available here for Tony Ramis Pascual. So he once again considers the contents of his hand. He can of course put the Vraska's Contempt back into Buyot's library with that commit.
That would be quite good.
Choose. But no, okay, he's just going to let his Scarab God become exiled.
And no activation either.
No activation.
All right, what kind of business does he have now?
So draws a Gonti, Lord of Luxury. Plays the swamp.
He could have gone commit and play Gonti and get the Rescue's Contempt.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool interaction.
I think it would have been sweet. In any case, it is all about Liliana's Death Majesty. Makes 2-2 zombie here. And this means now that Pasquale is shipping the turn with both Commit to Memory and Essence Scatter available. Back to Biel. And now we should see the Search for Azcanta flipped into Azcanta the Sunken Ruin. But Biel has been given, cause to stop and have a think about the top card of his library just now.
Yeah, I think Tony has a better view than us on this game for not activating his Scarab God during upkeep and valuing Liliana as a better card than just free creatures from the graveyard. He probably knows what he's doing. This is probably a good reason for that. There's so many cards and so many options that it's hard to weigh them all.
So Glensleeve Siphoner here for Damien Biel. You'd be forgiven for thinking he was playing blue-black mid-range. This isn't the case at all. This card is a 4-of in his sideboard. So this is a straight-up blue-black control list on the right-hand side of your screen. On the left, though, it is the more mid-range version with plenty of creatures in the main, including Walking Ballista, Gifted Aetherborn, the Siphoner, and the Champion of Wits, and so forth. So mid-range on your left, control on your right. Blue-black decks have fared very well so far this weekend, Raf, in no small part due to the presence of the Scarab God.
Yeah, most teams decided if they had one standard deck to play, blue-black would be the deck of choice. So 2 Glimmers.
Disallow.
Disallow.
A Glensleeve Siphoner. It's going to be a disallow now. That's a nice one here for Ramis Pasquale. He's got a little pocket disallow now. And Liliana goes up to 7.
What's Liliana Ultimate?
I'll tell you what, it's a bloody good one. Can certainly close out a game very quickly indeed. It destroys all non-zombie creatures.
That's probably not as...
It's not too bad when your opponent is trying to stabilize behind creatures and you can kill everything except your own dudes.
Not in this case. In this case, just kill one guy.
All right. Yeah, it is. It's a 7 loyalty. It's a 7 loyalty terminate. I do take your point. Ramis Pasquale, Charts of Course, and now Glimmer of Genius from Damien Biel.
So do you counter the card draw?
Can do exactly that with the disallow, or indeed with.
So you have a negate.
Commit to Memory.
Oh.
And a negate. Oh, that was
That's not a negate. That's
oh no, sorry, that's a Jace's Defeat. It is a Jace's Defeat. So a nice one to tidily remove that Glimmer of Genius from the stack.
So Jace's Defeat, counter target blue
spell.
Blue spell. If it's a Jace, cry 2.
Mm-hmm. Exactly right. Glensleeve Siphoner number 2 now.
What does it say? If it's a Jace
Planeswalker spell. Yeah.
So if you
Jace Prince Prodigy?
That doesn't work.
Doesn't work. No, doesn't work. No. If you cast Jace's Ingenuity.
Doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Jace's Familiar.
Jace's Archivist.
Doesn't work.
Jace's Erasure. Also no good. Jace's Sanctum. Surprisingly, that one doesn't work either.
Jaster Cap.
Oh, you did it. Well done. I was trying really hard to think of a a card that had nothing to do with Jace, but you beat me to it. Raphael Levy, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, dear. What a joy. So now, Ramis Pasquale. He's going to chart a course once again. Draw 2, just like that. And Biel has nothing to say about it.
Liliana really took over this game.
Oh, yeah.
So on 4 life, it's going to be hard for Damien to just push these 4 damage in.
2 cards into the bin. This is the messiest graveyard you're going to see.
So I think the path to victory for Damien is to resolve Scarab God and reanimate a couple creatures.
Mm-hmm.
However, I don't think Tony's going to give him that much time.
So Ramis Pasquale.
And he's playing very conservatively, attacking just with 1 zombie, keeping 2 zombies up. He could have just not attacked at all and make enough zombies for the...
I think he wanted to draw 2 cards with his Charter Course there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have just like stayed back.
He could have. Chose not to. His graveyard, though. What is going on there? He's a messy boy. Clean your room, his mum says. Go and tidy your graveyard. You're not going out to play until you do that.
Supreme Will.
Supreme Will. So he's got so much interaction.
And remembered he has Disallow under the Gonti.
And also those Essence Scatters in hand. I don't think Ramis Pascual has this one locked up as far as I'm concerned.
7 card, 6 cards plus Disallow. Just play
Walking Ballista. Okay.
All right.
Essence Scatter. Fine. Whatever.
That's the best way to get rid of an Essence Scatter.
Yeah. And now an attack with 2 zombies. Playing around a removal spell, wants to keep that Liliana alive. She goes up to 9, makes another zombie here. Oh, Ramis Pascual. Please, Tony, buddy. Nice neat pile. Look at Bio. You could learn so much from him. Not about how to win a game of Magic, but certainly how to keep your graveyard straight.
So Antonio wins his match against Arnaud Joachim.
Yes, he's done that indeed. And also on our back table, on table number 2, table number 3, I should say, table C, a new result. Louis Bachot has got Francisco Sanchez in 2 games to 1.
And what is it? Grixis Pyromancer Mirror?
Yep, Grixis Pyromancer Mirror.
So this is the deciding match.
Deciding match here, and Bio is up a game. However, he looks to be going down here with Ramis Pascual slowly but surely edging his way ahead here.
So you think we're going to see a game 3?
Another glimmer of genius here for Pascual. Oh, sorry, for Bio, who can pay for the Supreme Will. So we may see a different response from Tony Ramis Pascual here, looking to continue to constrain Bio on mana, or on cards, I should say. And it's going to be a Torrential Gearhulk flashback in the gate. Essence Scatter from Bio, but now Pascual can deploy this Supreme Will. Very tidy. Very, very nice indeed from Pascual there.
And I think, how much damage is that next turn?
And a Jace's defeat, targeting the Glimmer of Genius. So Torrential Gearhulk gets it done. And now Bio, staring down the barrel of a gun, almost knocks his Essence Scatter off the table there.
This is I have to say, it's a little messy here.
It is
on the left side. It's
a scrappy, messy game. Oh yeah. You got permanents all over the place. There's no nice, neat rows, and I think Bio has just had enough of looking at
like,
it.
No,
so
I can't take it.
I can't take it anymore.
Sort your mess.
Just pick up your clothes.
Okay,
off the
I like
hallway.
it much better here.
Take those muddy gumboots out of the doorway. Put them where they belong. I've told you 1,000 times. Don't walk in here with that graveyard all messed up. And things equalize now between Damien Bio and Tony Ramis Pascual at 1-1. And Raf, as you said, this is the decider for this match.
It is indeed.
It is indeed. So the winner of this game will go on to take the match for their entire team. And at 5-1, that means that one of these players will propel themselves through to one of these teams, I should say, will propel themselves to day number 2. The other one will have to come back once again for round number 8 and continue to battle hard if they want to make it through. So everything on the line here really in terms of this round as we get further and further towards the cut late on day number 1, round number 7 here of GP Madrid. My name is Riley Knight. I'm joined, of course, by Raphael Levy. And for all of those of you around the world who have chosen to share your weekend with us, thank you very much. It's great to have your company, and welcome to those newcomers who have just joined us. It's fantastic to have you along for a weekend full of Team Trio, Standard, Legacy, and Modern on display here from the capital of Spain. And it's great to have you with us as we see all of the latest developments, all of the things that are going on across these 3 formats. These players now sideboarding, and we can have a look, Raf, at what's going on in the sideboards of these 2 players. I already mentioned the fact that Damien Bio has something of a transformational plan with quite a few creatures in his board.
So what Damien wants to do, he wants to become the blue-black mid-range he's facing, pretty much. Because the Glint Sleeve Siphoner is so good in these matches, he doesn't want to fall behind on cards, so he wants the Siphoners of his own. So he brings them in. I think he also brings in the Deadeye Trackers. So Deadeye Tracker is 1/1 for 1. 1/1 in black. Tap, exile 2 cards from 1 graveyard, explore. So it's a good way to get back with with card advantage. Draw some lands if you're a little behind.
Also a very nice way to tussle with opposing Gearhawks.
As well, or the Scarab God.
The Scarab God, of course, yeah. Yeah. The card I don't seem to be able to keep in my head for more than 2 seconds.
You should give him a nickname.
It's very important, isn't it?
Give him a nickname.
TSG?
That's not a nickname.
No?
It's a lame nickname.
All right, leave it with me. I'll be back before much
just
longer.
Give him a name.
On the other side of things, Tony Ramos Pascual is looking at a sideboard that actually does the opposite of what Bio is doing. He wants to transition into a much more controlling game. He's got 3 copies of Negate, 2 copies of Duress, some Arguel's Bloodfasts, other things like Glimmer of Genius, and more commit to Memory, Jace's Defeat as well. So, I don't know, are both players going to kind of meet in the middle here in this slower mid-range deck that they're looking to transform into?
They want to take as much advantage as they can from some of the cards. Like the Bloodfast is great when facing a deck that's not going to pressure you too much. With only 4 Siphoners, it's safe to say that they're not going to kill you fast. And you're going to be able to draw about 2 or 3, maybe 4 cards of the Bloodfast, and that's a great deal for 2 mana.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. Key cards in these post-board matchups here.
And then you have to deal with the land as well, because if you leave it around for too long, well, it can get you the extra life you need to, well, not die, to the lethal attacks.
Duress opening the account here for Tony Ramos Pascual, and it's going to be Fatal Push as the only option here available from Bio's hand as we look at Scarab God plus 2 Glensleeve Siphoners. Tony Ramos Pascual's graveyard already in a bit of a state. There's only 1 card in it. And here is a Glensleeve Siphoner.
And there's a Ballista in Tony's hand.
Snap it off.
Since Demia has another Siphoner, I don't know. What's the rest of the hand? Is that the rest? What's the?
Got a Champion of Witch, Champion of Wits, I should say. Another Duress. A couple of Ether Hubs. Walking Ballista.
I wonder what the last card is on the left. It's a black card.
It's a black card. Is it a Gonti, perhaps?
Ah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that play. I think.
Right.
Yeah. I think he wants to cash in the Ballista for as much as he can.
Okay. So maybe wait till you get to 4 mana there.
Could be.
And another Glensleeve Siphon here for
because he's only going to draw 1 card. Whatever happens, he only drawing 1 card.
Yeah, yeah.
If he decides to play Walking Ballista and kill the first one, the second one is going to draw him a card. So might as well just play the Walking Ballista and deal with everything.
So Pascual does Stone Cold Nothing for his turn there, but another Fatal Push hits the bin for Bior as his hand...
Another Siphoner.
Yeah, he's working with... He's got a lot of stuff. Well, got a lot of gas to cook with here. So Bior draws a card, draws another card, and gets in for 4. Plenty more energy. And now Pascual is going to be able to mow down both of those Siphoners, but with Bior with the 3rd one in hand, it's not looking good. Pascual is going to fall further behind.
I think he's still fine. I think he has some time to recover. Yeah. Now he's going to kill 2 of them, and if Damian doesn't hit a land now, he might be in trouble.
Ether Hub off the top powers out this Walking Ballista and shoots down 2 of the Glensleeve Siphoners. Just a good old-fashioned 2-for-1 there, Raph. That's how you win games of Magic.
Something you don't see in Legacy.
No.
We saw that earlier.
No, you don't see
it's 1 and 1.
All
1 for 1 in Legacy. In Legacy, it's 2 for 1 in Standard. But he cashed at least one card from the.
Oh yeah. So it's just a 1 for 1, or a 1 for 2 plus 1.
So Damian did not draw the 4th land, and with his 2 Scarab Gods, his commit memory, that might just be the little extra time Tony needs to deal with the. Ooh, that was negate. That was not land, but was negate.
Very important.
The time he needs to get to settle in this game.
Very important answer to the Liliana there, because of course without anything else from Bashor, that would have been very, very tricky for him moving forward. But as it is, nice tidy answer to that Planeswalker there. And now the Glensleeve Siphoner is continuing to pull further ahead.
There's a little thing that you can notice. There is no blue mana on the Spanish side.
No, that's true.
And it's only, I think, 3 energy.
3 energy.
Since he hasn't used any, I think, Ether Hub for blue mana.
Not so far. 3 energy available for Tony Remis Pascual, indeed.
So is it a Gunty time?
Let's check our clocks. Doesn't look like it. Oh, it is going to be
is.
Gonti time? Tapping 2 swamps, surely. Okay, yes, indeed. Tony Remis Pascual, the Lord of Luxury, makes a great appearance here for Pascual.
So he's keeping a mana for maybe a fatal push. But the thing is, Demian already had 2 fatal pushes discarded. So it's less likely that he has them. And now Demian is ahead. Because now he can safely play one of his Scarab Gods. And if it gets killed, he has another one.
Got a backup.
So now it's... And Tony's on 8.
So, TSG. Oi. Oi. Scarab God comes in.
Oh, that's your favorite card.
Essence Scatter.
That's too late.
So good. So good. Best card in Standard, but not quite as good as the Scarab God. Even though Essence Scatter is the best card in Standard, there are other cards that are better than it. I will concede that. And one of them certainly is the Scarab God here. And Bio has, after an early stumble with mana, has managed to
he missed
get back out ahead.
He missed the land drop, but once he got to 5, I think next upkeep he's going to reanimate a Walking Ballista to scry for 1, have a 4/4. I think that's safe enough to do.
So now,
I don't think there's a reason not to do it.
Remis Pascual, 3 mana.
Champion of Wits.
Is it going to be the champion? Yes, indeed. Draw 2, discard 2. Let's see if Pascual can find the goods he needs. Finds another Gonti there.
No, that's the same one.
And a negate. Oh, sorry. Yes, indeed. It was it was put there thanks to
How many does he play?
Oh, 7.
If he discards a Gonti, then
That's very bad.
That's
bad. Okay, Essence Scatter is the first card discarded.
Yeah, and he can't discard a creature, and his spells are...
Just got to discard the Commit to Memory here.
It's just too expensive. You can't play it.
Discussing it with his teammates, these options that he's got.
Yeah, that's
okay.
fine.
And now...
I haven't been very good at predicting the game so far.
No.
So I would say he reanimates the... Oh, no, I think this is better. He can reanimate the Siphoner and draw a card. Would that work? Oh, yeah, it trigger. Yeah, that would work. Triggers the Siphoner.
Oh,
get one from the graveyard. And
sure.
draw a card.
Yeah, if you stack the triggers correctly,
yeah.
he can
Yeah,
draw.
right.
He can draw it. Yes.
That's even better.
Yeah. He can draw one off the.
Finally, I got something right.
Well done. The crowd goes wild, but yeah, no, he can do this because of his first Siphoner. This wouldn't work if it were the only Siphoner on the battlefield, but because he does already have a Siphoner, that trigger was put on the stack.
And
so
he can
Rabio
also
draws 2 cards.
Oh, could he have scryed before? If you sequence it right, you scry before the draw from the Siphoner.
Potentially.
Yeah, I think he can do that.
Well, he was able to scry in any case because of before his draw step here. So draws a card, finds a land.
Safely attack with both creatures.
Yep. So we do see an attack now, and it looks like a double block on the Siphoner here.
Now he's facing 9 power. And 2 minutes left in the round, so
yeah, it's been a long one.
Demian is probably winning this game, and Tony has, even if he was coming back, it would be pretty hard for him to actually win the game in time.
So, Tony Remis Pascual is considering this double block, and after this round finishes, of course, we will be heading into round number 8, the cut, where we get into the X and 2 players, the X and 2 teams, and these guys will be only 1 match loss away from losing it. And I tell you this, you're not going to want to miss a moment of it, because we are going to be featuring Andrea Mengucci, Christian Calcano, and Javier Dominguez.
That was at 1-2.
They were at 1 and 2, and they have fought their way now to 5 and 2, my friends. And you are going to be able to see if they can make it through to day number 2, whether they can dig deep, if the human calculator and the Gucci man, as well as Javier Dominguez, can get it done. You're not going to want to miss a moment, ladies and gentlemen, of the cut in the booth here with Ryan Knight, and with me, of course, Raphael Levy. Commit to memory takes care of that Scarab God here. So Ramis Pascual holding on by his fingernails, but it's not enough after one of the weakest handshakes you're ever likely to see. It looks like that fatal push is enough for Damien Buyot to win the game and indeed the match. Flanked by Louis Bachot, who also won, and Arnaud de Jochum, who went down in straight sets to Antonio Del Moral-Leon. So Pascual, Moral-Leon, and Sanchez are going to have another bite of the cherry here, Raf, as we head into round number 8. But Buyot, Jochum, and Bachot, they have made day 2. They are looking to jostle for position now in round number 8, but they are safe, and we will see them back here tomorrow morning. As we bring it back to the booth, ladies and gentlemen, of course, my name's Riley. I'm joined by Raf, and we have only one round remaining of day 1 play. It is, of course, time for round number 8. Before very much longer, we are waiting for pairings to go up, and once we've got our players seated and ready to go, we will bring you live coverage of the cut for day number 2. Raf, there are going to be hundreds and hundreds of players that don't make it through to day 2, and our viewers around the world are going to be here to see that happen in just a few moments for round number 8 here.
Yes.
Yes, indeed they are. So, my friends, stick around because on the other side of this ad break, we are going to be continuing coverage of GP Madrid. We'll see you after these messages. And welcome back here to the tournament floor at GP Madrid for our Team Trios Constructed GP. My name's Riley Knight. I'm joined by Raphael Levy, the French Hall of Famer, and we are going to get underway with some time walk magic to close out round number 7. We are, of course, well and truly into the cut here. We're about to make the transition to round number 8 as soon as we get through this time walk magic, and then, of course, that'll be it all over Red Rover for more than half the field as we get underway with round number 8 and day number 2 tomorrow. Let's have a look at who we're looking at here for round number 7 time walk as we head down to the feature match area to get underway. Between these two teams, both of them here at X and 1 so far. The winner of this round goes through to round number 8, confident that they have made it through to day number 2. Now, Raf, I got briefed by Rich briefly before there, and he mentioned that Fabian Thiele and Laszlo Porochai there, they had a marathon half hour. Max Prich and Tibor Vinicai had a marathon half-hour game number 1. It took half an hour for Prich to win there. And we're going to jump in here for Thiele and Porochai as they get underway with game number 2. Tron on the left-hand side of your screen, and on the right, well, with the Street Wraith being cycled away, what are we looking at here?
Isn't he playing Living End? I think we've seen that exact matchup about 4 rounds ago.
Yes, that's actually true. Yeah.
Laszlo was playing against Tron.
Yeah, he's playing against
your
that's right. Yeah,
Scottish friend,
my good buddy, Dr. Renard. That's right.
Dr. Tron.
Dr. Tron took him out. If you missed that, pop back a few rounds in the playback. You can go and see the VODs where Dr. Tron actually took down Laszlo Porochai with a flawless victory, Raf.
Indeed, with
0 permanence.
Ulamog Karn took care of business.
0 permanence in play when Porochai lost that game. It was quite something to behold. So if you want to get across some of that filthy, disgusting Tron action, you can see Dr. Tron doing his work just a few short rounds before. But right now, it's all about what's going on here. Tron versus Living End. I mean, doesn't look like Thiele's found a good hand here. What does this matchup look like, in the blind?
The Tron deck has Relic of the Progenitus to deal with graveyards, which is very annoying for the Living End player. And if he can align the Tron fast enough, then he has a chance to take over the game. But in this position where he's so far behind, it's going to be pretty hard.
Must have been a loosey-goosey keep here for Fabian Thiele because, of course, most Tron players just chuck back any hands that don't have any copies of Tron lands in them.
Yeah, the thing is, the Living End player also, that's one of the strategies of the Living End player is to destroy the lands. It has Fulminator Mage, it has Beast Within, so it's pretty hard to align all 3 pieces of Tron.
So, a Living End is cascaded into thanks to that Demonic Dread, and that's going to mean a pretty tame Living End here for Porochai. Only 4 enormous big beaters being brought in here. And this is essentially the Living End deck going off gold fishing, you would have to say. And Thiele is going to have to pack him up, and the match goes to Laszlo Porochai, equalizing the account here, as Jan Stettler was managed to get up undefeated against Akos Canieres.
Just a quick thing, the 3/4 Minotaur,
yeah,
it takes care of Emrakul, the Promised End.
Oh, destroy target creature with flying?
Yeah.
Gets it done.
Just mentioning that.
Yeah. It's one of those cards, weird creatures that can just that can deal with it. Ashen Rider, of course. Winged Coatl as well. Flying Death Touch creature. Yep. Flash. Yeah, gets it done. Yep. But right now, let's head back to our first table where Max Prich, as I said, took a very, very long time indeed, half an hour to win a marathon game number 1. So Max Prich and Tibor Vinicai here. Looks like we've got a pretty classic Sultai mid-range, Adana's Climb, in conjunction with...
Well, it's not really Sultai because you see the... Oh, yeah, sorry. I thought you said mirror match. No, mid-range.
Mid-range, that's right. Sultai, the Winding Constrictor in conjunction with Adana's Climb, a very powerful combination indeed. Max Prich, on the other hand...
Yeah, it's a different deck. It's something different.
Oh, he's got something real special. He's got something real special cooked up here, I can tell you that much.
Do you have the list?
I do. I've got it right in front of me. Guess what the first card is? 4 copies of...
New Perspectives.
New Perspectives. So we got, a real special one for you here. 4-color New Perspectives featuring, all sorts of the most ridiculous cards. Not only is there things like Gifts of Paradise, of course, to get us there, Faith of the Devoted, in addition to these sorts of things. There are Shafet Monitors. There are Viziers of Tumbling Sands, Renewed Faiths. There are countervailing winds, Haze of Pollens, Beneath the Sands, and then some actual good cards. Sensor, Cast Out, Hieroglyphic Illumination as well as an important cycler. And once again, there you see a card being cycled away.
Where does the Scarab God come from?
The Scarab God is out of the board, 2 copies.
All right.
So there are some constructed playable cards in this list.
All right.
But Prich has got it done. I'll tell you this, at X and 1, deep into day number 1, his team has really done the job they wanted him to.
Yeah, the negate in Tibor's hand is going to foil Max's plan to settle the wreckage. Enjoying so many cards. So many cards of the Siphoners. So these scanners, are they? Yeah, they are +1/+1.
Yeah, Hidana's Climb is just bonkers with the Winding Constrictor, of course. It powers it up, gets it flipped a turn early, and with more counters than you would if you played it au natural.
Look at Tibor's hand size.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What's he got going on?
He has a lot going on. There's too much going on.
Too much going on, in fact.
There's too many cards for me to see.
Oh yeah, Winding Constrictor is going to do that with Glint Sleeve Siphoner here.
And that's one of the downside of playing control without fatal pushes and ways to kill creatures directly in the early game, is that Glint Sleeve Siphoner is just a huge pain. It's so hard to deal with. It draws 2 cards a turn and there's nothing can do about it.
And it also attacks very annoyingly effectively with Menace.
That for Pro Tour Ixalan, the blue-white cycling deck, one of the worst cards you could face is Siphoner on turn 2.
Yeah.
Because the only way you could deal with it would be like Settle the Wreckage or Fumigate or Cast Out.
Yeah.
That's just way too late.
This card really can run away with the game. We see Hidana's Climb get flipped now. And Vinichai is in a good position to push things forward now. This thing is just huge. We're seeing one of Vinichai's teammates helping him out here. Looks like an activation of Hidana's Climb. He's going to push the Glint Sleeve Siphoner through for 12. What does Pritch have to say about that?
Fog.
He's got a Haze of Pollen. He does have a Haze of Pollen. Probably important to notice there. So Haze of Pollen now.
Mwap, 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 mwap.
Straight up Fog. Does have Cycling as a rider attached to it. Of course, Pritch's deck revolving around new perspectives, rewarding you for playing as many cyclists as possible.
Yeah, if he plays Negate, then Max can play Settle the Wreckage. I think Fog is fine. I think I would just say, okay.
Just take it. Next turn, get it done. Have another try. Because he's not costing many cards here, right?
No.
These are gaining cards.
Just losing card, yeah.
So the Haze of Pollen resolves. No damage is done by the Glint Sleeve Siphoner. 9 cards in hand. Jeez. Or is it just 8? No, it's 9. Is it 8 or 9? Counting so hard, man. 1, 2, 3, Squillion. Who can
what are
keep
these
track?
cards? Oh, yeah, these are lands.
Okay, he's going to discard here. Jade Light Ranger. Don't need any more cards.
Oh, wow. Oh, is it discarding this? No, he can't. He can't. Yeah, end of turn, he can't do something.
Okay, all right. So with Vinichai wanting to discard, he's now going to discard the Jade Light Ranger.
Is Scarab God going to get back in this game? Get Max back in this game?
Okay, scries 1. Sees a forest.
Max has a potential counter spell in hand, so he can sell the Wreckage anytime he wants now, and back it up against Negate in a countervailing. No, what?
Countervailing wins.
Countervailing wins.
Yeah, you're right. So Forest off the top, scries it to the top, and now 3 mana. And we're going to see Drakehaven. So this one also out of the board. Not a traditional blue-white cycling deck, this one, but still a nice payoff. And a negate for Vinichai here.
So he can back it up with the counter, but he decides not to.
And now the Scarab God gets in for 5. Nice little tasty attack here.
That's bold. So he can again fog and counter.
So
or fog and settle wreckage, because he can untap his swamp enchanted by a Gift of Paradise with Vizier.
He's got a ton of mana here. Vinicio has
Not
a ton of cards.
Not a ton, but
No? How much? 900 kilos?
not 100 kilos of mana, no.
No? 800.
4, 5, 6, just 7.
700 kilos. 1 mana weighs 100 kilos. Everyone knows that. For those of you watching from the other side of the Atlantic in North America, 100 kilos is roughly equal to
220.
14 fluid cubits.
220.
29 and a half furlongs of mana.
Enough to cast Settle the Wreckage and a kind of Wailing Winds.
That's the point we're trying to make here. All right. Another snake here. There's a big one. Oh,
tapping,
and look at this.
Tapping out.
Tapping out for a Verdurous Gearhulk. So,
I don't like that
is,
plan.
That is a lot of +1/+1 counters. 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 4 creatures here. Look at this. Poor old Vinicio. He's trying to do his job. And his team is like, mate, stop it. Just let me do it.
No, but it's also because it's fast forwarded.
So
but that might be countered.
So.
Oh no, he cannot counter then.
Well, he hasn't countered.
Oh, he hasn't countered.
He hasn't countered. It's entered the battlefield, and the trigger's on the stack. So these are the targets now.
Yeah, so casual 5 mana, 7/7 gives a +12/+12 to your team.
So that's a huge Glint Sleeve Siphoner now. And Pritch is going to settle this wreckage.
Ooh.
Get it done, he says.
Boom.
Stick this in your pipe and smoke it, my friend. All of that enormous investment you've just made into your battlefield. Oh, I ain't give a damn.
That's not as good now.
What, the settle?
Oh no,
the settle was very good.
No, the settle. No, that's not as good. The Gearhulk is not as good.
Yeah, the Gearhulk is is looking pretty silly right now. All of those counters went away except for the 3 that were put on the Gearhulk. So I mean, it's it's still a 7/7 trampler. It's no joke,
what?
but
I don't quite understand an attack. Why would you attack with everything when you could just attack with 1 and deal lethal?
Yeah. Back to Pritch now, who
like you just attack for 7. He's on 7 with Menace, so there was nothing. Oh, and wow.
Okay. Is that a that looks like
a
Forsake the Worldly?
Yeah. So you can
just straight up kill the Gearhulk.
Yeah.
Easy.
And it's exile, I think, so you cannot get it back with the.
Oh, can't get it back with
the Scarab God.
The Scarab God,
which
of course.
Would have been nice. Yeah, goodbye.
It's a shame.
Shame.
It's like it is exiled, yeah. But the Scarab God's going to get in all the same here. Pritch thinking about an attack with that Vizier of Tumbling Sands. Looks like he's going to go for it as well.
Oh,
so this is the full attack for 9.
Oh, he's on 6. He was on 6, so he has to jump.
He has to jump, and the snake hits the bin, and all of a sudden Max Pritch is in a commanding position. That Settle the Wreckage was enormous.
What happened? Wait though.
1 second.
4 mana before they die. I think it's what he wants to do. What does he want to do? Oh, does he want to? What's going on?
So it looks like Pritch is considering activating the Scarab God.
Yeah, but for what?
This is unclear at this stage.
Is it exile the forsake the was it destroy or exile?
Forsake the Worldly.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen them exile the card that was
so it's
targeted.
probably exiled, so you can't get the Gearhulk back. No, it's exiled, so we can't get the Gearhulk back.
Otherwise, get it back at instant speed, add some extra counters onto it. And this is turn 1 of extra turns. Can Vinicio hold on long enough to force a draw here? Well, no, but even then he loses because Pritch won game number 1.
No, he's on 2. No, he has to win.
He has to win in 3 turns.
So he needs to. No, that's definitely possible because he can pump the snake and make it fly. But that's. But Max still has a fog in hand, I think, and a counter.
So Vinicio can force a draw if he picks up a game win here. Otherwise, all Pritch has to do is see out these final turns, and then his team will have won. Another Verdurous Gearhulk.
So what's in his hand? Is it the counter? Yeah,
it's a countervailing winds.
Yeah. So even if it's not counter, even if he can play it, that would still be 7, right? So it'd be 4. That would actually be a 7 power.
I think did he only tap 3 mana for that? No, because it was the Forsake the Worldly, and then
does he have another one? Because that would be good enough.
So Vinicius now.
Yeah, he's dead during upkeep. Upkeep, he's gonna. Oh yeah,
Gonna
that's
lose
it.
there to the
Wow.
Scarab God, and Max Pritch propels his team across the line after quite an astonishing match there. New Perspectives combo is not something that I think that many people were expecting to see this weekend. But I tell you what, it's got Max Pritch deep into day number 1. And in fact, actually, as we talk about the card, of course, into day number 2, Rafael Levy, New Perspectives will be featured next.
Last game we saw how good New Perspective was.
Yeah.
Alongside the Scarab God.
It did. It's done a fantastic job so far, and we'll see if it can hold its weight tomorrow as well at day number 2. My friends, we've got one more round of Magic to bring to you before the end of today's play at GP Madrid, and we're hoping you're going to join us for it. We've got to go, of course, to the ads, but after them, we will be back with round number 8 of GP Madrid here at the Cut. My name's Riley. I'm joined by Raf, and we'll see you back here before very much longer.